Hey guys, welcome to Natural Travel. So today I'm kind of going to talk about our cruise line, why we chose the cruise line that we chose, and what really came into factor when we were deciding that. So let me start out with the basics here. This will be my 12th cruise. So I am a very avid cruiser. I love to cruise. In the past, it was more what entertainment did they have, how good was their food, things like that. Now we're looking at it a little differently because of my son. So we're trying to figure out what the best options would be. So I have my computer here, and what I actually did when we started thinking about this was what cruise lines have we been on before? So there are some cruise lines that don't exist anymore that we've been on, but the ones that do exist, we've been on Carnival, we've been on Norwegian, and we've been on Royal Caribbean. We also were on Hawaiian American. They don't exist anymore. And we were on Orient Cruise Lines. They also don't exist anymore. Norwegian bought them out, but they kind of just dissipated. So those cruise lines we won't talk about, but the others we kind of can walk through it and talk about, and some other cruise lines that we haven't tried, but we do want to try. So we have decided to book two cruises this coming year through Royal Caribbean. We decided on Royal Caribbean because we felt that in the past they were the ones for us that seemed to care most about their customers. But after kind of reviewing this, I kind of changed a little bit. Maybe we might try some other cruise lines in the future. Or go back and try cruise lines and see what they do for our child. So I went to cruiseline.com and they have all kinds of information about all kinds of different cruise ships. Some I've never even heard of. So Asmara, that's part of Royal Caribbean. And they do work with allergies. Apparently they flag your account in the restaurant reservation system so that when you go and check in for your meal, they will know right away that you have an allergy. Carnival Cruise Line, the thing that scares me about Carnival, listen, I've been on Carnival. I loved my Carnival. It's a party ship, but it's fun. They have a lot of really good pools and kids stuff. Good ship. However, when you book your vacation with them, your dietary requests are all handled on board. So in comparison to Royal Caribbean, I actually spoke to them this morning, and I'm going to be making another video about that as well. But they handle everything before you get on the ship. So we sent them like a brand name list. We gave them all the information we needed to give them, and they've come back and said, okay, can you tell us how much you need for a week, things like that, for your child. Carnival does it all once you're on the board the ship. So there's no getting the foods that you would need or that we would need for my child on that ship. So then we're kind of just at the mercy of what they already have. So that's a little scary. They do have, it says, however, if you have questions, you can contact the special request department, and they have an email, specialneeds@carnival.com. So if you need to inform them in advance, you can. But again, we would have to cruise them to know how that would work. And if somebody needs specifics, I can always try to call them and see what they say. Say, hey, we're looking to possibly book a vacation, and see what they do. But they say once you're on board that you discuss your allergies with the head waiter at dinner on the first night. So once you get on board, yeah, that scares me. Okay, so Celebrity Cruise Lines, you need to email the special needs department 40 days prior to the sailing. And that's special_needs@celebrity.com. And then again, you let your waiter know in the beginning of your cruise. They say in the buffet, you can talk to a manager and they can answer questions about the ingredients for the buffets as well. Crystal Cruises, we didn't really look into them. But they do have, you need to tell them 3 months in advance if you book with them. But we didn't look into Crystal Cruises. Costa Cruises, we didn't look into them either. And again, we might look into some of these options in the future. Let's see. Okay, Disney Cruise Line. Notify your travel agent or call the line special services team at the time of booking. So at the time of booking, you do start that process with them with Disney. I have not been on a Disney cruise. Way back in the day, we were on the Big Red Boat, which was the Disney cruise at the time. It had Disney characters, but it was not Disney Cruise Line. But from what I have read and heard, they are fantastic with, just like Disney World, fantastic with allergies. So do let them know ahead of time as well. And then when you go to dinner that first night, you do let the head server know as well. Holland America, this is one we actually want to try. When our kids get a little bit bigger, because really they only have some pools and hot tubs. It's not like Royal Caribbean or Carnival or Disney where they have tons of stuff for kids. I would probably do this as they get older, but I've heard that they're really good. They also notify the line using this SRI form, which is a special requirements information form, 90 days prior to cruising. And it'll be passed on to your dining room manager and culinary manager to make advanced preparations. So they do order things in advance for you guys. Now, this is a cruise line that I had looked into, and I sadly have read some bad reviews in regards to food allergies, and that what you get on the ship is what you get, and you don't get upset. And that terrified me, so we didn't even look any further. MSC cruises. I've heard from some people that they've been on them. They were great. They do say that after you book to fill out a special needs form, but when you go to their website, they talk about their allergy stuff, but then you go to reviews and people state that they didn't help them at all with their allergies, which I'm not even sure I want to try that. Again, that's a company I could call and ask that question to for you guys. Norwegian Cruise Line. We have been on Norwegian before. Not our favorite line, but they do ask you to put in the request for your dietary needs prior to booking. Will you contact the access department prior to booking, as some requests may be easier to accommodate in certain geographical regions? I'm guessing what they're talking about is overseas, some of the Asian countries and stuff. It might be a little bit more difficult for them. But if you're taking a cruise from the States, I think that it would be okay. Oceania Cruises. My in-laws just came back from an Oceania cruise and they said they loved it. They do dietary restrictions pretty well. And they, again, have an alert on their system that tells them when somebody's checked into dining if they have an allergy. So it reminds the server as a precaution to make sure they get what they need. Princess Cruises, you need to let them know 35 days prior to your cruise, and they will accommodate your allergies. Royal Caribbean, we booked through a travel agent, but if you book through RoyalCaribbean.com, you can add your dietary request right into your update personal information. You can also contact the access department. That's who I have been talking to for our cruises, and they have been fantastic. The request can be sent to special_needs@rccl.com, and you need to include your name, booking number, ship name, sail date, and any other information about your allergy. They do email back pretty quickly, guys, from what I have experienced. Basically, my other video, I'll kind of go into everything, but they've been very, very accommodating with his allergies. And the rest of them are they also, on this website, I'll tell you the other cruise lines that they go through. But there's Windstar, Silver Seas Cruises, Seabourn, Regent Seven Seas, Cunard, and that's it. So they kind of go through all of them there. So again, that's cruiseline.com. It'll give you kind of all the information that you need to know. But we had chosen, after kind of reading reviews, we were looking between Disney, Cruise Line, Carnival Cruise Line, Norwegian Cruise Line, and Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Carnival, again, that scared me with the way that they want you to do everything when you get on the ship, because that means that he's not going to get anything he needs. And we're flying. Like, there's no way I can bring all that food and drink. It's just not possible. So that kind of went out the window. We do want to try Norwegian again. We're still a little scarred from our last experience with Norwegian, so it didn't go real well. Between entertainment and food, it just, it didn't go well. So we're a little hesitant to try it again. But for purposes of this channel, we would like to do that. And then Disney's just really expensive, and I had at the time switched jobs and was only working part-time until I got enough clients. I went from a full-time job to a contracting job. So at that moment, it wasn't feasible for us to do a Disney cruise. So that's kind of how we came to the conclusion of Royal Caribbean. And I've taken, I think this will only be my third Royal Caribbean, or fourth maybe, but we've really enjoyed them the last times we were there. The food that we get is expected, or is as expected. There are certain things that I feel that you should be getting on a cruise ship, and some of the other cruise lines have kind of missed the mark on that a little bit. I feel that their customer service, every time I've called them and asked questions, it almost feels like you're talking to Disney. You know, you always get somebody that's cheerful and happy. Well, not always. I did run into one issue the other day. But for the most part, they have been wonderful. So if you have any questions, comment below. Let me know, and I might be able to answer them for you. If I can't answer them right away, I will get the answer for you and reply to it. So I will be making another video here in a minute about my experience with contacting Royal Caribbean and what we had to do. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Bye.